Hello everyone, I am Ahmed. EcubMaker sent me their first second generation version of TOYDIY 4-in-1 3D printer named TOYDIY 2, and they have told me that this is upgraded version in size, design and many other aspects. So let's check it out together. Let's unbox it. Open the lid. This is the quick starter guide, so let's open and let's see what's inside. Wow, the instructions and the pictures and everything looks so informative. As you can see, it's simplified. The instruction for installing the printers, it's also so easy to understand. As you can see, the diagrams and everything looks so nice and it's colorful. The true color they use, it's so nice. So let's see, this is the extruder box and this is the upper styrofoam lid. Wow, this is the double Z axis, Z axis 1, Z axis 2, and I think this is the X axis. So open this lid. You can see it's like this. It looks very stable. And this is the platform assembly, and here we have tool heads. As you can see, the tool heads, we have all 4 tool heads in this box, and this tool looks like the filament box, 2 roll of filament, and another 2 tool head, and here is this one is for the mounting the some spare parts and some other details I think inside it. And open this one. I will put this platform assembly on my desk and open the every box that comes with this machine, and I will show you that what's inside those boxes. Let's open those boxes. So here is everything that comes with the printer's package. If I look at my left, this is FDM tool head, and I have seen this is only one port, so this is FDM single color tool head. And look at here, this one is the leveling probe, leveling mechanism. I think it's a great design and great engineering decision, because as you can see, this probe goes down and then it will trigger like this. And this is the FDM dual color tool head. It's also have the same auto leveling mechanism, and it contains 2 ports, but this one is 2-in-1 out technology. So 2 port goes inside and print one side, one from one nozzle. And this one is the laser tool head, and laser tool head also adapt the auto leveling probe mechanism. And as you can see, this is the class 4 1.5 watt laser. And at last we can see the CNC tool head. This one is a bit heavy because it contains the extra coupling, because EcubMaker told me that they have recently upgraded the CNC tool head, and this tool head have extra coupling, and which makes it more stable, and this CNC bit is replaceable. And maintaining the same design structure for 4 tool head is really a great job from EcubMaker, because I have seen some other companies, they have the different design for different tool heads. So I think this is a great job. And this is the power plug that you will need, and this one is the goggles for CNC and laser protection, and this one is the pad for the bottom pad. And here is some screws that you will need for your assembly. And this one is the SD card reader, and this one is the SD card. Wow, as you can see, they have everything getting ready for your use, so you don't need to buy anything for the getting started. And this one is the CNC clamping tools that you will need for the CNC mountings, and this one is the cable. This one is for upgrading the firmwares. And wow, as you can see, this one is the spanner box. So they have all kinds of spanners, so that you will need for your assembly. And wow, here is some extra spare parts that you will need for your machines. And as I can see, this one is the filament parts tray. So this one is a great engineering. So when the printers goes back, and then it will clean the nozzle. And at last, this one is the some sample materials for their test. And here you can see 2 filament box. So I think they made a great decision, because you can do the dual color printing for these 2 filament box. Then later you can buy some others if you need. And here you can see 2 filament holder. So let's open this. So as you can see, this is the filament holder. So here these 2 filament holder, and this one is the extruder, and this is the Z-axis assembly, and this is the platform assembly. And at last, as you can already see, the quick start guide. So now let's assemble the printer according to the installation guide. So I have already assembled the printer. So first what I have done is install the Z-axis assembly with the platforms, and then fix the 4 screw both sides, and then connect the wire from the bottom. And I have installed the wires and everything, and then I have installed the extruders, and that's it for the installation, and it takes around 20 minutes to do it. Okay, the build volume of this machine is 350 mm by 300 mm and 350 mm. It's equipped with high quality and quick heating microcrystalline glass bed. The whole body structure made with industrial grade high class metal, along with the both side 4-wheel pulley transmission, ensure every single moment is accurate with extreme stability. Let's start to do a FDM 3D printing. Let's put the filament inside the extruder. Wow, this is the filament breakout sensor. So first you put the filament inside the sensor. We are pushing the filament, and we're pushing the filament until it's reached the red level. So it's done. Now we will turn on the machine. And we already have the SD card inserted, so we will just click print from SD and select the FDM 3D printing test. I have done this printing. As you can see, this is the final print that comes out from this printer. And the reason behind for this great printing, I think they have very stable design for this printer, and 4-wheel pulley transmissions, and of course the linear guide rail have a great advantage for these printings. And the nozzle they use for these tool heads, I think this is a great engineering. Let me show you. As you can see, this one, the nozzle they use, it's a stainless steel, and they have patent for this nozzle, and it able to eject the filament in pretty high temperature, and the speeds as well as, and the quality is too good. I have done some test for this printer, that what is capable of this printer, and as you can see all the test it's done quite perfectly, and the famous benchy comes out so cute, and it's also perfect printing. And for the dual color, as you can see, the color separation for this printing is really so nice, and because of this microcrystalline bed, it's very easy to remove the model from this raft and as well as from the printing plate. And for the dual color, another one is a pretty long time printing. As you can see, this one also prints out so good, and the color separation for this one also is spot on. And another one is a very challenging project I have done with this printer, and you see this one, the color separation for every layer is really so good. And as you can see, the support for this one is also very easy to remove from the original printing itself. And one thing I need to mention, that the software they use is really very helpful, and it has a lot of good preset settings that you can play with, and the original settings they use is also very quite perfect, so that is enough for your get a great printing from this printer. And I think that's all. And at the last, I wanted to say about the FDM 3D printing is a perfect 3D printer for FDM 3D printing, the dual color also. And another thing you need to notice of this printer is the filament purge tray, because when the color change by this tool head, FDM dual tool head, so it goes back to the purge and then clean the nozzle and then goes back. So this is very unique technique they use, and I think is a good thinking for their engineers. And that's all for the 3D printing. Now I am going to test the laser engraving capability of this printer, so let's see. So this is the laser engraving that comes out from this test. So it was a long printing for me, and as you can see, the quality of this engraving is so clear and so visible for this engraving tool head. And the reason for this great effect, I think the laser power for this laser tool head is 1500, and the wavelength for this laser is 405 nanometer, and which ensure the every engraving steps more clean and more clear. And this laser is not a cutter, so this is the best wavelength and the laser power that you can get for the engraving any materials like wood, leather and plastics. So for this kind of multi-tool machine, I think is a great features to add this kind of laser tool head and to achieve a great effect from this printer. Okay, we already done the laser engraving project, so let's move on to the CNC. As you can see, this CNC tool head is the upgraded tool head from the previous version, and this one includes a extra bearing outside and extra coupling to ensure the stability during the CNC carving, because the last version was not that kind of strong enough to hold the stability and it missed some steps during the carving. But this one is the upgraded version, and this one is the 385 24 volt DC motor. As you can see, this is not that strong enough to do the professional engraving, but I think it's good enough for the beginning. But as you can see, I have another one, the bigger motor. This one is 775 DC motor, so this one is the bigger enough and this one is the professional one. But by comparing with this one, EcubMaker tried to maintain the same design for all the 4 tool heads, so that's why they chose the 385 DC motor. So I think it's a great decision, but if you wanted to upgrade in future, maybe you can contact EcubMaker, they will help you to upgrade this one. Okay, now let's go to remove this microcrystalline plate, and then we will install this carving raft with this machine, and then we will start to do the CNC carving, and I will show you that what is the final result on this acrylic board that I am testing now. And another note for you, that this CNC toolhead is not able to carve metal because it's not strong enough. So if you wanted to do it, then maybe you need to upgrade the CNC toolhead. Okay, so let's move on. I have done the CNC carving project. As you can see, this is the CNC that I have done with this printer just now, and it comes out so clean, and as you can see, all the edges is really carving so nice, and there is no leveling issue this time. So, and I have done other projects also. As you can see, this is a bird, and it's also on acrylic, and this is a plastic materials, and this is done on wood, and this is the PCB that I have tried, and you can also do the PCB with this CNC carving tools. And another thing is the CNC tool head. The tool head power is without any external load, then it is more than 10,000 RPM. You can also use the Fusion 360-degree software to process your CNC models, as well as our EcubMaker software. But if you wanted to use other software, then you need to use some special settings recommended by EcubMaker. And yeah, that's it for the CNC. We have done all the test and printing with this printer. So at last, this is my conclusion about this printer. So first of all, the design of this printer is really well built, and with some extra features like linear guide rail and dual Z axis. And along with this is a 4-in-1 3D printer. So the big advantage for this printer is, along with the 3D printing capability, you will also get the laser engraving, CNC carving capability, and as well as the dual color capability. So the possibilities with these machines is much more and more diverse that you can think. Like, you can do the 3D printing project for your prototypes and educational purpose and commercial purpose and so on. And for the laser engraving, you can also do the laser engraving project and sell online. So what else you want to get from a 3D printer? So, and from the CNC carving, you will also get some wonderful effects. So being a 4-in-1 3D printer, there is a lot of challenges behind this printer to set up an oil build condition. So they made a good engineering through the printing process, and from the beginning to the end, the firmware they use is very well built and is user friendly. The software they have, the EcubMaker software, every functions, the features are really simplified so that you can understand and realize your printings and realize your dreams with this printer. So what else you want from a 3D printer? So this is great, I think. And if you want to know more about this printer or ask me something about this, so you can also put a comment below, and I will try my best to answer your question.